52 blocks was nurtured from 5-center culture, also known from the heretical epithet nation of gods and earths. I will pull no punches in this book, so those who believe the origin of 52 twine was from the ancient Egyptian fighting art called mantu, then you have also been deceived by the confabulations. If you think you're practicing a martial art developed 3,600 years ago in Egypt, then you're truly living in a Kemetic delusion. The culture of 52 was developed by the poor righteous teachers, aka the 5 centers, an offshoot of the Nation of Islam who developed the Fruit of Islam, FOA, as a security organization for Elijah Muhammad in the time of the outspoken revolutionary Malcolm X. This was the true source spring of 52, which was nurtured in correctional facilities around NY, from Rikers to Sing Sing to Clinton in Dannemora, aka NY's Little Sabera, due to its bitterly cold winters. Hip-hop music also found its wellspring in the 5 centers, with artists like Rakim of Eric B. and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Guru of Gangstar, Brand Nubians, Poor Righteous Teachers, Wu-Tang Clan, Nas, and Busta Rhymes. Few people know the true impetus behind the creation of hip-hop music, and the NOI, whose teaching sourced back to Wallace Fard Muhammad, a known Turkish man who taught his unorthodox teachings to Elijah Muhammad, which created a counter-movement to the KKK. A recently revealed plan from Tavistock Institute's behavioral psychologists reported on in a few of Dr. Coleman's books, notably The Committee of 300 and Tavistock Institute of Human Relations. He revealed that elite masterminds working off the Hegelian dialectic concocted a plan to create a black supremacist group in the U.S. The NOI was the outcome of this initiative, possibly using W.F. Muhammad as an inception point. Why would a Turkish man proselytize to African Americans and teach them a syncretic form of Islam, apparently inspired by Freemasonry and Drew Ali's Moorish science? The core of W.D. Muhammad's teachings are as follows. The black men in North America are not Negroes, but members of the lost tribe of Shabazz, stolen by traders from the holy city of Mecca 379 years ago. The Prophet came to America to find and to bring back to life his long-lost brethren, from whom the Caucasians had taken away their language, their nation, and their religion. Here in America, they were living other than themselves. They must learn that they are the original people, noblest of the nations of the earth. The Caucasians are the colored people, since they have lost their original color. The original people must regain their religion, which is Islam, their language, which is Arabic, and their culture, which is astronomy and higher mathematics, especially calculus. They must live according to the law of Allah, avoiding all meat of poison animals, hogs, ducks, geese, possums, and catfish. They must give up completely the use of stimulants, especially liquor. They must clean themselves up, both their bodies and their houses. If in this way they obeyed Allah, He would take them back to the paradise from which they had been stolen, the holy city of Mecca. In the online world, only 2 practitioners that I know of are practicing authentic 52, based on the foundational principles of the geometry, or the science of the art form. The first is Kashun B, and the second is Mr. 52, aka Rommel. Both are sadly victims of the NGE or 5% nation Gnostic theology, concocted by W.D. Fard Muhammad and other unknown government agents or hidden hands. One brother, who goes by the name Light Burley, a talented martial artist, tried to copyright the 52 blocks title as a name brand. This was short-sighted and conducive to copywriting the title Hood. You would have to indict the whole hood in this case, and good luck paying for all the potential lawsuits in pursuance of all the defrauders who used your title, a claim that would never hold up in higher courts just under the condition of lacking mens rea, guilty mind or intent, necessary to be convicted of a crime in such case. Light seems to practice and advocate a hodgepodge of 52 shapes and forms, devoid of the science of application, as his concocted skull and bones was first coined by an anonymous YouTuber, a fact few people know about. This skull and bones cover was the lost and found 140 of Shabazz block, used to capture and trap attackers' arms during an attack, what Kashan and the old heads know as G-locks. All this will be disclosed in due time, inshallah. Chapter 1. True Origins. Elijah Muhammad reported in his 1965 book Message to the Black Man in America, he began teaching us the knowledge of ourselves, of God and the devil, of the measurement of the earth, of other planets, and of the civilization of some of the planets other than Earth. He measured and weighed the earth and its water, the history of the moon, the history of the two nations, black and white, that dominate the earth. He gave the exact birth of the white race, the name of their God who made them and how, and the end of their time, the judgment, how it will begin and end. He taught us the truth of how we were made slaves, and how we are kept in slavery by the slave master's children. He declared the doom of America, for her evils to us was past due, and that she is number one, to be destroyed. Her judgment could not take place until we hear the truth. He declared that we were without the knowledge of self or anyone else, how we had been made blind, deaf and dumb by this white race of people, and how we must return to our people, our God and his religion of peace, Islam, the religion of the prophets. We must give up the slave names of our slave masters and accept the name of Allah, God, or one of his divine attributes. He also taught us to give up all evil doings and practices and do righteousness or be destroyed from the face of the earth. He taught us that the slave masters had taught us to eat the wrong food and that this is the cause of our sickness and short span of life. He declared that he would heal us and set us in heaven at once if we would submit to him. Otherwise, he would chastise us with a severe chastisement until we did submit, and that he was able to force the whole world into submission to his will. He said that he loved us, the so-called Negroes, his lost and found, so well that he would eat rattlesnakes to free us if necessary, for he has power over all things. Malcolm X, while imprisoned, fell for this message hook, line, and sinker, reported on prolifically in his autobiography, which was published by Alex Haley in 1965 after extensive interviews with Malcolm. Malcolm went on to make Hajj and become a true Muslim, exposing the falsehoods taught by Elijah Muhammad, which contradict the Quran. For instance, Allah encompasses all creation in his vision, but none can encompass him. Also, Allah created all races and the diversity of languages, and the white man was not created by an eclectic African scientist named Yaqub, as taught by Elijah Muhammad by way of W.D. Muhammad. Also, the idea that the white man is the devil diametrically opposes the Quranic revelation that Shaitan, called the devil in English, was a jinn, an invisible being created from smokeless fire. The element of racism taught by Elijah Muhammad and W.D. Muhammad falls hand in glove with the elites, Committee of 300, directive to create an African-American supremacist group as a dialectic to the white supremacist group known as the KKK. Both created to foster chaos in society in order to shock the natural order of etiquette and noble behavior, so the global population managers would have access to a power disorder device in times when red herrings, misdirection, and sleight of hand can be used advantageously for the international cabal. It seems W.D. Fard, closely monitored by the FBI, may have been groomed or encouraged to develop his racist ideologies to further the globalist agenda, wittingly or unwittingly. The origins and controversies of black identity and divinity in the Nation of Islam and the 5% Nation. The assertion that the black man is the original man, along with the controversial belief in his divinity, is rooted in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam, NOI, and has been further propagated by groups like the Nation of Gods and Earths, also known as the Five Ascenders or Poor Righteous Teachers. These beliefs represent a distinct interpretation of African American identity, rooted in cultural pride, but also mired in theological controversies. This chapter explores the origins of these ideas, the influence of figures such as W.D. Muhammad and Clarence 13X, and the repercussions of these teachings on the lives of prominent black figures, including Malcolm X.